Hey guys, Auspiciously here, and welcome back to another AEW Dynamite preview slash prediction video. Now, what can I really say after last week? I was correct in some of my match predictions, but then again, in some of the other ones, I was obviously a little bit off. Anyway, one thing I do want to mention before we get into things is the fact that I do run a wrestling game on my channel. It's called TEW 2016 Total Extreme Wrestling. Basically, it's a fantasy booking type game. Make sure you go and check it out if you're interested in it. We play in like a universe called the Cornellverse. Completely made up characters, companies, everything you can imagine. It's very creative, very expansive. So yeah, PCW series, make sure you check it out. Anyway, enough self-promotion. Let's get straight into things. Now, I've got a little notepad here on my phone with exactly what's sort of going down as of recording this currently. And the first thing I want to talk about is Hangman Page versus Sammy Guevara. I do think this will be the opening match on the show. I'm hoping that the tag team title final, the tournament final match, will be the main event, although it could be a contract signing between Jericho and Cody. But yeah, Hangman Page versus Sammy Guevara. Now, this is a really interesting match because in theory, you would think that both of these guys can't lose at this stage. You could possibly say Sammy Guevara. The only reason why I would say that wouldn't happen is due to the fact that he's on a bit of a losing streak at the moment. He hasn't really done too much. You know, he's getting over due to the inner circle. But I feel like too many losses is probably going to hurt him, especially now that he is sort of in the limelight with Jericho. I'm going to give him the win here. I know I mentioned a lot last week, but there's going to be some shenanigans in this match. Possibly Hager coming out and costing Page the match, setting up a match between those two at the pay-per-view, which I think Hager will probably win. Obviously, his MMA fight a few days ago was pretty disappointing, considering it finished a no contest. Anyway, going to go with Sammy Guevara. Could be a disqualification victory to Hangman Page as well, like I said. Anyway, moving on to realistically, so far there's only been 3 matches announced, which is Hangman Page versus Sammy Guevara. Then we have the Elite, so Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks versus Kip Sabian and the Hybrid 2, which of course is Angelico and Jack Evans. Obviously, I mean, this one's probably a lot more straightforward. Obviously, you would think the Elite are going to win this one. Kenny, again, needs more momentum, I would say. The Bucks as well, considering they did lose to Private Party in the tournament. Of course, they did pick up the victory last week against Best Friends, but yeah, I don't really see, as much as I like Kip Sabian, I feel like he's really underrated. The Hybrid 2, they're not really involved in anything. They can take a pinfall. And yeah. Alright, so we then move on to the next match, which will be the Tag Team Title Tournament Final. Crowning the first ever Tag Team Champions. Which will actually be presented by the Rock and Roll Express. This match it's really, really hard to predict because I feel like it could either go one of 2 ways. Obviously, it's going to go one of 2 ways. Where you have SCU winning. Obviously, it's a big, happy moment. We do already have a heel champion in Jericho, having the faces go over, which I assume is SCU at the moment. Having a moment there. Obviously, the whole Christopher Daniels thing. They in my mind, I want them to win, and I think they will win. And then I think if the Lucha Bros do win, which I don't think they will, I think they will be chasing the. I think this is going to be a storyline that does progress. Maybe even a rematch at the pay-per-view Full Gear. So, yeah, it's interesting. But if Lucha Bros win, I expect them to take out the Rock and Roll Express when they're presenting them the titles. I think that would gain a decent amount of heel heat with a package pile driver from Pentagon. So yeah, I'm going to go with SCU though. I do think they'll win. I do want the faces to go over here, and hopefully they do. Like I said, Scorpio Sky, such an incredible wrestler. He's really over as well at the moment with the whole Shoegate thing. But yeah, and of course, well, we have two more things to note here. There's going to be a heavy influence from Rick and Morty. It's been hinted that Rick and Morty are all elite. So I'm expecting some sort of influence from that on the show. And then finally, like I mentioned earlier, you got the Chris Jericho and Cody contract signing for the AEW World Title match at Full Gear. Probably will close the show. Probably going to be more shenanigans, and possibly either Jericho or Cody going through the table, as you would sort of expect with this sort of classic little story piece adding towards their sort of feud, and generally how feuds go for world titles. So yeah, that's gonna be it as far as I know. I won't be able to do a video tomorrow, so I'm putting this one out a little bit early, and there possibly might be some other things added towards this which I haven't mentioned. Anyways, if you could drop a like on the video, it'd be much appreciated, guys. Subscribe to the channel if you want to keep up to date with these coming out in the future. And like I said, make sure you check out my TEW 2016 series on my YouTube channel. As always, guys, take it easy and goodbye.